Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am recording this the same night that I am doing the other video, so you can tell that my hair is drying. But it's still a little messy. So I figured that for this video, it will be another story time. This time, it'll be about my ex. Anyway, so please like and subscribe if you enjoy these. I know that they're not really for everybody, but they're fun to do, and I haven't done them, so I was like, hey, I'll do it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna kind of go back and forth between brushing my hair and holding the mic. So I have a bunch of I had hair products next to me, but they're over there. Great. Anyway, so when I was 17, right, I got into my first relationship. My first boyfriend, my first love. Aww. He taught me how to identify a narcissist. So, to get into it, there's one particular time where we were at a Christmas party with his friends, and some of his friends had girlfriends, some of them didn't. So I wasn't the only girl there, but it was mostly guys. Mostly guys. My hair feels pretty good, actually. I put K18 in it, and it feels okay. Feels strong. So, basically, we had gone to his friend's house. His friend had a pool. It was fun. And there was one friend. Now my ex we'll call him Tommy. Let's just call him Tommy. It's just an easy name. And he had a friend named Paul. Fake names. Now Paul was a little too friendly with me, I'll be honest, but I think he meant well. We weren't friends by any stretch. We didn't talk or anything like that. We weren't texting or sending each other memes or anything like that. He just would say hello to me because the other friends wouldn't. Come to find out, my ex was talking mad shit about me to his friends, and Paul was the only one who didn't believe it. Go Paul. Anyway, so we decided that we were all gonna go to our local park, and the local park was like 2 miles away because there was like a lit up tree, nice little walking area. We were gonna go take pictures. So it was 15 people. I had driven with my ex, and so in total I think there were like 4 cars, right? So everyone had to pack roughly 4 people in each car. Okay, so I was obviously, actually no, I didn't drive with my ex. I drove myself. That's right. So my ex was going to drive Paul, who, by the way, Paul is 6'5". My ex had a little Ford Ranger, and he was going to put Paul in the back, which, mind you, isn't even comfortable for someone who's 5'5", at least, or at most 5 foot tall, right? Such is cruel. Then he was going to put his shorter friend, who was like 5'6", in the front. Girl, what? Miss me with that. So I offered to take Paul and a couple of other people in my car. I did not offer to take my ex because my ex said, I'm driving my own car. I have people to take. This is important. I said, okay, well, that's not very fair to Paul because he's 6'5". So are you going to put him in the front? And he said, my ex says, no, I'm going to put him in the back. I said, oh, well, that's not very nice. He'll just go with me. and you can take somebody else. My ex did not like that. So I took Paul and a couple of other people who were super nice, and we drove the 2 miles to the park, and we met up with everybody else. And I walk out, and my ex is there because he got there before I did, with a few other people, and then everyone else shows up, and he's giving me the side eye. He's acting like I'm not even there, and we were 18 at this point. And I said, "Why are you acting like that? You took Paul, you didn't offer to take me." I'm like, be real. You were gonna put your 6'5" friend in the back of your small ass Ford fucking Ranger. Really? I, at the time, drove a mini or crossover, and I put him in the front, and he had plenty of legroom. And he was so grateful too. He was like, "Thank you for taking me. You're the biggest car. I really appreciate it. That would have been very uncomfortable if I had stayed in the back of that Ranger." I said, "No issue, girl. No problem here." My ex, however, had the problem. No one else thought it was weird, by the way. I still don't think that it was weird to this day, because I'm just trying to help out. We were driving 2 miles. I really didn't have a preference as to who I was taking. I just noticed that someone was about to be in a lot of pain, and I just don't think it was worth it. I was like, "Hey, I'll take your friend. I don't care." I was taking other friends too. So he got really mad about that. I proceeded to sulk the entire time. We were there for about 2 hours, by the way. And then towards the end, I said, "Okay, let's go handle this." So we got in the backseat of my car, and he's like, "You didn't take me. I feel like you don't care about me." I said, "You offered to take your other friends, though. I didn't think that me even taking you was on the table, because when we were leaving, you were so adamant about taking 2 other people. In your car, that only fits 3. Really only 2, but 3 if they're small." And he said, "Yeah, but it was a test. Like, you were supposed to pick me." I said, "That's not how that works." And no, it wasn't. You're crazy. So, anyways, I eventually gave in and said, "Look, I'm sorry." Let's go lipstick on my thing. "I'm sorry. You're right. Whatever. I won't do it again." And I didn't. I did not offer to take that friend again, unless he was there in the car. I don't think I did anything wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I did do something. But I saw it as no one else had volunteered to take him, and so I did. Because again, putting someone who's 6'5" in a very small cabin is not nice. And I feel like it was like a personal hit. Like, he had something against Paul, and that's why he was going to do that. Because it just logically made no sense to put the short friend in the front and the super tall friend in the back. And I'm tall myself. Like, I understand the pain. I'm not 6'5", but I'm up there. So, with that being said, I understood the issue. So I took care of it. But yeah, we missed out on pictures, and everyone thought, other than Paul, of course, everyone thought that I was rude because my ex had gone and said that I had actually just gone out of my way to disrespect him, and that I had just ignored him, and that he didn't even want to drive his own truck. He just chose to because I didn't invite him. When in reality, he was the one who decided to take his truck in the first place, and I was last to decide that I was going to take my car. Man, am I right? No, I'm just kidding. But like, what the hell is that? So, with that being said, if you date a guy who accuses you of things, says things that aren't true, gets mad over situations that make no logical sense, you're probably dating a narcissist. And my ex had other situations where he was very narcissistic as well. Not just that story. Another side story is that he had been given so much money. And I mean thousands of dollars. Because his grandfather was a wealthy doctor. He was dying. This man would not pay for dates. He would, in the beginning, And then towards the end, like we dated for 2 years, so the last year, I paid for them. And I didn't have much savings. I just made more at my job than he did, but he had like 100 times more than what I had. So it just wasn't fair for the fact that we were only going out maybe once or twice a month. Yeah. So, again, girls, be wary out there. I never asked anything of this man, and he never offered anything, even though he absolutely had the resources to. So just because they have money does not mean they want to spend it on you. So, after we broke up, though, he actually, oh gosh, that's the whole other story, but after we broke up, he called me a year later, and he was like, hey, there is something outside my window for real. He was like, I miss you. How you doing? I said, girl, get out of here. I had deleted his contact. I did not block him. I'm not sure why I didn't block him, but we just never talked after we broke up, so I probably just didn't feel the need to, because I don't block people. And I was so angry at him. I broke up with him, by the way. I was so angry at him over the situation that I just didn't care, you know? So, yeah. And I told him, I said, listen, I'm with someone else, and they treat me so much better than you ever did. Get out of my life. And then I blocked him. So, because I didn't want this man texting me when I was out with my boyfriend. You know, I was like, girl, get out of here. So, good stuff. I want to go take a look and see as to what is outside my window. Because it sounds like there's a bear or a raccoon or a coyote. But at the same time, you're not really supposed to look out your window when there's something tapping on it, because it could be something else. So, I guess we'll see. But anyways, thank you for listening. I'm going to film one more story time tonight, and then maybe another kind of video, we'll see. But again, thank you for listening. Good night.